on. The name of my presentation is How to Survive the End of the World, or a Video Nightmare, because that is what it turned out to be. Now, I just have to look. I did a project, and I thought of this project for class. Then I thought, oh, I need to do a different project because I don't have enough to do. And so I started a project which didn't. Well, let's just say we're still working on it. So I had to go back to this project, which I don't remember why I decided I didn't want to do it in the first place, because it's a good project. So anyway, that's I had this idea. The idea was that I have this project that I use every year, and it's getting kind of old. I mean, I've been doing it like 15 years. Maybe not quite that long, but a long time. And it's one that I use to teach the students how to do prop construction, costume construction, set design, those kinds of technical aspects to theater. It was a good project. I don't know why I decided I didn't like it, but I just felt like I needed change. So I went in, decided this is what I'll do. I'll do something different. But I also wanted my kids to reflect on the creative process. The creative process, which I think is important for us to do, to look and see how things don't just spring into being. We're not like Athena. We don't jump out of Zeus's head in the middle of the headache. We actually have to sweat while we're creating. It's a thing. And a lot of times kids are just kind of like, oh, I can't do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not good at this, so I'm just not going to do it. Well, it takes time, it takes work, and it takes refinement. So that's part of what I was trying to do by having a process of looking at and reflecting on the creative process. And I needed a DF assignment. So that was what was going on in my head with the thought. So then I have this plan. I'm like, okay, we'll make it How to Survive the End of the World. It'll be great. I mean, who doesn't like zombies? Everybody loves zombies, except I don't like zombies. But anyway, so I was thinking, okay, that'll be a good place to go, because the original assignment was making stuff out of trash. So I thought the end of the world, surviving the end of the world, trash, it's destruction. So this will work. You know, we can still do some of the same kind of stuff, except we'll just kind of change the scenario, the method of assessing it, so to speak. So that's what my plan was. And then I thought, hey, they'll make documentary videos of them making the narrative video and creating the props and the so work, because then they're behind this stuff. All right, so here's reality. First and foremost, I did not spend. I made assumptions. I made the assumption that they know more than they actually edit videos. You know, they put those videos up on Facebook or wherever that they're posting their videos. They don't edit those things. You know, there's no editing involved with that at all. They don't know how to trim a video. They don't know how to put something else together with another video. So, yeah, that was a problem. Now, and they don't make good use of their time. No. Yeah, okay, well, we've already talked about that. All right, and here's the other thing. Students do not care about the creative process. They still want it to spring fully formed from their brains, and that's it. They don't want to think about it. They don't want to talk about it. And freshman boys will poke each other with whatever. Here, I'm going to poke you with this. That's the way they are. That's freshman boys. And that's primarily what was in my 8th period class. So this was a little difficult. And finally, we did not accomplish what I originally set out to do. That was, I really had this grand vision of how we were going to have these 2 videos, and we were going to look at this video, the narrative video, and we were going to go, we are brilliant. And we were going to look at the documentary video, and we were going to go, that's how I got to be brilliant. And look at all these wonderful things I made. No, that is not really what happened. So, we made lemonade. I had some really creative kids. They did some awesome stuff. It was not what I planned, but they did some awesome stuff. And I just have to say, oh, good for you. I'm glad you were able to make something out of this catastrophe. They had fun. I had fun. And they did learn about video production. Now, we're still going to have to spend some more time with editing. Some of the students built this mask. This is just one group here that I'm showing you because they're exemplary. There were other kids that did good, but really pretty amazing. This mask over here that they've made with the bottoms of I think they did an awesome job with that. They did their costumes, which are pretty simple, but they look pretty good for what they're supposed to do. And then the makeup work on little Ethan Singleton over here with his, he's been torn up by a zombie there. So I thought that was pretty cool that they did with that. And then I'm just going to show you this. Now, I had difficulty downloading lots of videos, so I only gave you one example for each one. You'll see why I picked this one. This is by far not the best by any stretch of the imagination, but...
Here we go.
How do you feel about the zombie apocalypse?
You don't care. I just don't want to die.
Well, if they come after you and you don't run, you're going to die. Have you seen any lately?
Oh my God!
Okay. Yeah. Coach Cleveland, they just got him in the hall and said, Coach, will you do this for me? And he was, yeah, okay. So I thought that was pretty industrious on their part to get our AD out there. And then this was one of the better sections of documentary videos. A lot of times, and this was really hard, I had a really tough time with this, because in the instruction document, I told them, do the documentary video at the same time you are doing the narrative video. And they'd go, okay, we get that. And then they would start working on their documentary video before they had anything to document. I just don't understand. But anyway, okay. So, this is...
This is the first video of the post-apocalypse, so just watch.
Okay, so with our setting, we thought up a couple of different scenarios that could have, devastated but we didn't think that would work. We would have zombies, or make zombies in some way, which would be awful. And then we thought up a nuclear apocalypse, which worked. So, and the only time that nuclear apocalypse would be like very, very essential would be the 1980s.
Just go Boston.
Members of our group, not really physical characteristics, but just what they wanted. Just character.
I loved looking at the documentary pieces when they were like this, because it was fascinating to me to see what things they thought of when they were coming up with their ideas. Oh, well, the only time you could have a nuclear holocaust would be during the 1980s. So it's like, oh my God, it just cracks me up. But anyway, so there were a lot of things that were different than what was in my fantasy of what this assignment was going to turn out to be. It's okay that it didn't turn out exactly like what I wanted. I think there are some things that I will do differently. Let me show you my assignment sheet. There are ways of making this bigger, I know. Now, when I presented this to the kids, I do it on the projector on the big screen, and they go ahead and take camera shots of it so that they have it. Now, I do go ahead and print out paper copies of it because some people just want to have that paper in their hand. It's just important to them. So, I made that. You can see over there on the side, there's no pictures on it at all. I made this very blank. I gave them the criteria, I gave them some questions to think about, but I intentionally, because originally I had all these great graphics all over my assignment sheet, and then I thought, that's leading them away from what maybe they would come up with on their own. So I went in and I took all those pictures out, and I left them just a blank canvas to work from. Now, it kind of hurt my heart to do that because I spent a lot of time on that and I thought it looked really cool. But at the same time, I felt like they deserved the opportunity to make up what they wanted to do themselves. And they did. I was disappointed. Well, I was disappointed about some things. But most of the kids worked hard, put their time, did a really good job. And I was very pleased with that. I do think, though, that I'm going to go back and try to figure out a way to make it more geared toward the prop construction, the costume construction. We kind of lost that in the video. It became the video and the, which is good because that's what you need to do in a video, but I was trying to do too much with this assignment, I think. That's what my husband says all the time. You're trying to do too much, Karri. We're all for an hour. You visit all 500 people you know. So, in conclusion, I had a lot of fun with this assignment. I enjoyed it, yes, I did. But let me tell you, it was work. Because going around and checking on all those groups while they're videoing, you're going, put the stick down. But I did have fun, and I do recommend to you that video production is a really good way for the kids to learn how to collaborate with each other. They learn stuff while they don't know that they're learning it. So that's, I guess, about all I have to say.